Good afternoon, it's Kash Jackson. I'm a retired Navy veteran. I'm also a 2018 gubernatorial candidate for governor here in Illinois. And I'm also one of the organizers of the Million Parent March, which will be occurring in Washington, D.C. from September 17th through the 20th, with the actual march occurring on the 18th. And we've got a pretty big topic to discuss. It's no secret what's unfolding in our country right now. There's no secret about what's happening nationwide of tearing down statues of Confederate soldiers, of tearing history apart. And I can't help but say that I think that your anger and your hurt, those of you who are tearing these statues down, that is completely misplaced. Okay? One, you're trying to draw attention to an institution in racism. It's something that's been around for as long as human beings have been on this planet. It's nothing new to America. It's not like the founding fathers of the United States invented racism. They didn't. Racism has been around for as long as we've been on this earth. Period. Go to any country, go anywhere. You go to Hawaii right now, and as a white person, I've had a lot of friends stationed in Hawaii, and I tell you right now, as a white person, we're not very welcome there. Along with a lot of other places. And call it colonization, call it whatever you want to call it. The fact of the matter is that people have migrated and moved around this earth for thousands of years. Hate has always been a part of being human beings, and labeling ourselves and hating a different group of people simply because of the color of their skin or where they come from or what their religion is. Pick something. It's always been there. Hate is nothing new, and the forefathers of the United States didn't invent hate. They didn't invent genocide. That too has been around for thousands of years. Not excusing it at all. Okay, I'm not excusing any type of violence or genocide that occurred to, say, Native American people. I'm not excusing slavery. But here's the thing, is that you're taking your anger out and you're on an inanimate object, on a bronze statue erected in a park somewhere. Most people can't even tell you today who the damn vice president is, much less who the hell this statue represents. So one, I think your anger's misplaced. Do I really give a damn if you tear a statue down? Only to the extent that you're, committing a criminal act and you're whitewashing history. And I would rather my kid ask me, Dad, who's that statue of? And I can educate my child who that is and what they did, good or bad. I would rather be able to educate them. But guess what? You just took that opportunity from me. So whenever I go through one of these parks and a statue that used to be erected there, when I have a teaching moment to teach my child, look, this was a general during the Civil War. And these are some of the things that they did. You've now robbed me of that opportunity to teach my child, a very teachable moment. Because those who do not remember their past are doomed to repeat it. But let me tell you something. Right now in this country, we have a judicial system that operates with impunity. You want to know where your racism is, where you should be protesting, what you should be doing? It damn sure ain't at some stupid-ass inanimate statue sitting in the middle of a park that nobody even knows who the hell it is. Where it should be, where you should be protesting is over in front of the White House. Where you should be protesting is with the Million Parent March, okay? Where you should be protesting is in front of these courthouses. Where you should be protesting is in front of Child Protective Services and these other organizations that literally steal your children from you, that literally profit off the destruction of your families. That's where you should be protesting. Not at some damn statue in the middle of nowhere. Go tear it down. Go ahead. Let me ask you what happened after you tore it down. Did any hatred stop? No. Did any oppression stop? No. Is it going to make your community safer? No. Is it going to guarantee your rights and civil liberties? No. You know what it's going to do? Here's what it's going to result in doing. It's going to ultimately result in, as this occurs more and more and we build these things, ultimately what's going to happen is they're going to start to stifle and silence free speech. That's what's going to occur from it. Your ability to exercise your freedom of speech, you're going to limit it. I promise you that. When you're having violent protests all across this country, destroying things, and you're, I'm not saying that you don't have a good reason to be angry. I'm not saying you don't have a good reason to be pissed off about what happened in the past. But I'm much madder about what's occurring today, right now, as we speak. We cannot go back 50, 100, 200 years and undo the past. We can't. Our focus should be on the future. Educating our children as to the transgressions, as to what happened in the past, being truthful about that in all respects, whether we're talking about the genocide of Native Americans or we're talking about slavery of African Americans. We got to be honest about it, recognize it that it happened, but our focus should be on what's happening right now in this country. What's happening right now is that your families are being torn apart. Right? What's happening right now is in Chicago, in my state here, in Chicago, we've got over 700 murders, predominantly of young black men killing other young black men. It wasn't some damn statue that killed those nearly 700 young men and women in Chicago. It wasn't that statue that slung a drive-by bullet into that 5-year-old's head as he lay sleeping in his bed. That damn statue didn't do that. That statue didn't have shit to do with what's occurring in this country. Nothing. Your anger is misplaced. I'm just being straight up. And some of you are going to tell me, well, you can't have an opinion because you're white. Well, that's racism. Period. That's racism. Okay? If you tell me to check my white privilege, that's racism. Because you have no idea who I am or where I grew up from. I recognize the struggles of the black community. I do. I see it. I'm not stupid. I wasn't born yesterday. I can read history as well as be educated by men and women who are much smarter than I am about our past. Our focus should be right here, right now. What's occurring in this country right now. And let me tell you something. Whether you're Antifa or whether you're KKK or neo-Nazi, let me tell you something. A bunch of ass monkeys is who you are. Let me tell all of you something. You've forgotten about a group of people who's sitting idly, and we're watching, we're observing what you're doing. You have forgotten about the several million veterans in this country that are watching what you morons are doing. And if you think for 1 second we're going to allow you to escalate beyond a certain point, you are sadly mistaken. I'll tell you that right now. Because you bring that shit to my town, you're going to be met. You will be met. And you're not going to like what you get. Because I'll be damned if you're going to come to my town and preach that hateful bullshit, or if you're going to come here and tear my town apart. Let me be elected as governor in the state of Illinois, and groups like yours, you have freedom of speech, and I'll allow you to exercise your freedom of speech, but if I'm elected in this state, you can bet your ass there's going to be several thousand patriots standing around you. Several thousand patriots will be standing around you, ensuring that you exercise your freedom of speech peacefully and no other way. Because we're not going to tolerate you destroying our country. Maybe you didn't read your history books. Maybe you forgot that we went to Nazi Germany and we crushed them. Maybe you forgot what we're willing to do and the lengths that we're willing to go to defend this country and what it means. So no person on the far left or the far right, because you're both extremists, you're both psychopaths, whether you're running around in your stupid ass skinny jeans and your freaking man bun, or if you're running around in your knee-high Nazi boots, I don't give a shit. Because what you're going to succeed in doing is provoking a community of individuals who's willing to give everything up to and including their life to protect this country. And I'll tell you right damn now, I'll be one of the first ones standing in your face. And let me see you check me and some of these other men. I'll tell you right now, we will absolutely, unequivocally crush you. We will crush you. When your KKK buddy says we need to set up communications and you run a piece of freaking Marlin line between two Budweiser cans, you're not fit for what we're going to bring you. I'll tell you that right now. We will break it off on you. So your hateful rhetoric and your bullshit speech that you have, you better keep that shit to a minimum. Keep it to a minimum, because as soon as you turn violent, as soon as you start messing with our communities, we will come out in force. We showed that in Standing Rock, North Dakota, when several thousand of us went out onto that bridge, because we're not going to stand for the oppression of our government either. Your time is limited on that stage. I'll let you know that right now. You better say what you need to say and get it done, because the violent protests, we're not going to tolerate it. The Patriot Nation will not tolerate that. We're going to march in D.C. September 17th through the 20th. The actual march is on the 18th. I would encourage you guys to be there. That march and that rally is one to defend our families. It's one to stand up for men, women, and children in this country that have been adversely affected by the judicial system. That's where your anger should be placed at. The very court systems that circumvent due process, that punish the shit out of you because you live below the poverty line and you can't afford an attorney, and the piece of shit appointed to you isn't going to fight for you unless you take a plea bargain for a crime you didn't commit, resulting in thousands upon thousands of innocent people serving time behind bars in this country that's supposed to be built on freedom. You want to protest, you get your ass out to D.C. and you do it the right way. You come and you stand out there and you stand alongside myself and other veterans and other men and women who care to change this country the right way. You're Native American. I know, you guys know I stand alongside you. You know that I do. I'm asking that you guys come to D.C. September 18th. March alongside us. I implore you to come there. I know children are still being trafficked off of reservations. Another reason for you to be pissed off. I know it's happening. You should be angry. You got every right to be angry. Bring your ass to Washington, D.C. and march with us. We will march the morning of September the 18th. September the 18th, we will be marching from the Lincoln Memorial. That's where we're going to start off at. We're going to march for our families because we're not going to stand and tolerate the bullshit, okay? The KKK, the neo-Nazis, they exist. They do. Racism exists. It exists in all communities and all races everywhere. It does. But the systems and institutions and policies and procedures in this country currently are oppressing men and women of all colors, of all ethnicities, of all religious backgrounds. And unless you're super wealthy, you don't stand a chance. You don't stand a damn chance. You just don't. Think about where you're focusing your attention and your energy, and if you're hurt and you're angry, and you got every damn right to be, you have every damn right to be hurt and angry and pissed off. I'm not saying that you don't, because I'll tell you right now, as a veteran who thought he was doing a damn good job in this country, I didn't recognize just how grotesque the constitutional infringement was occurring in this country. And so I'm mad that I didn't fulfill my oath to the fullest extent possible. So I'm going to D.C. to continue to make good on my oath. Where are you going to be? Get your ass to D.C. March alongside us. Show what the government is afraid of is that a white man and a black man can lock arms and march together. That's what scares the shit out of them. What scares the shit out of them is that a man like me can go to Standing Rock, North Dakota, and that I can find acceptance and be embraced by the Native American community because I recognize what they're enduring. I recognize what's happened in the past. And I can't go back and undo the past, but I can damn sure work alongside them and change the future. That I can do. But I can't do it unless you guys come to D.C. and march with me. You want to scare the shit out of the government and this nation. If you really want to rock this nation, then we go and we march together. Black alongside white, alongside Asian, alongside Native American. That's what scares them. Unity of the people is what scares the shit out of them. Donna, I don't have any idea how many people are going to be there. I wish that I knew. It might just be Kash damn Jackson, the only irate son of a bitch marching in Washington, D.C. in September. It may be. I really have no way of knowing till I get there. I implore the black community, the white community, the Native American community, every single one to come to D.C. and march with us September 18th. You're tired of your children being trafficked. You're tired of trying to fight uphill in a judicial system that's stacked against you. It's stacked against you. It doesn't matter if you're white. I'm here to tell you. You step inside a court, there is no white privilege. I'm here to tell you that. As a clean-cut, white man, middle-class white man, I'm here to tell you there is no privilege inside that court system based on the color of my skin or where I came from at all. They don't discriminate. They destroy everybody. Ruthlessly and needlessly. I can't afford an attorney. You know what they told me? Sorry. Sucks to be you. When I asked for one to be appointed to me, nope, can't do that. It's only good in criminal cases. It's not a criminal trial. Even though they might put me in jail, you know. Don't let the mainstream media and these idiot fringe groups divide you. Because that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. If you feel that I've got white privilege, fine. Okay, I can't change your feelings. You're probably not going to change mine. So what we got to do is agree to disagree, focus on the issues, and let's come to some peaceful resolution and some solutions to fix them. Okay? Me denying white privilege isn't denying you your opinion. You can have your opinion and I can have mine. Okay? But what I will say is that I recognize there's issues in a lot of communities, and I'm willing to work on them with you and fight these things with you. That's what I'm willing to do. But we got to meet one another in the middle and be willing to do the same damn thing. Well, you know what, Darren? Yeah, you're right. If I was a black man for a day, my views might change. But that's never going to happen. So that's kind of like wishing for me for $1 million to spring in my lap right now. It's just not going to happen. But like I said, that doesn't mean that I don't recognize what's happening. It doesn't mean that I don't have the mental and emotional capacity to look at a situation and analyze it, to analyze historical and statistical data and recognize what's happening in this country. Don't deny me my ability to have some sort of a coherent thought process and see what's happening in this country. I see what's happening. But our hurt and our anger is misplaced. Don't point it at some statue that's just it's just sitting there. Because at the end of the day, you could tear down every statue in this country. Tear them all down. Tear the shit out of them. I don't give a damn. Go hook up a freaking pickup truck and start snatching them down. And when the day is over and the dust is settled, you're not one step closer to curing racism. You're not one step closer to fixing these broken government bureaucracies. You're not one step closer to protecting your families any more than when you began that day of snatching down those statues. You wasted an entire day when you could have focused your attention and your energy on fixing something. That didn't fix shit. In fact, it really just created the opposite. It tore something down. Great, good on you, okay? Somebody else somewhere down the road will erect another one. You really want to fix something, you get your ass out in the field and you start working. It's not just raising awareness, we got to do that. But we have to lock arms and work together to get it done. Martin Luther King Jr. recognized that when he gave his famous speech. He recognized that he needed to stand alongside races of all colors. It didn't matter to him. He recognized the strength in that. I'm imploring you to do the same thing, to have the same type of discerning heart and recognition for what the greatest leader of the civil rights movement era ever did, and that was to recognize that there is strength in unity. That is what we have to have. So I'm done. I'm out. That's all I wanted to say. MillionParentMarch2017.org. Get to DC. Carpool, whatever you got to do. Be in DC September 18th. The march will happen. It will go down. We will be there. We will let our grievances known. Period. And I'm going to stand alongside whatever man, woman, and child wants to march with me. Whomever you may be, whatever your background is. Even if we don't see eye to eye and don't agree on things, we're there for the same cause. This is Kash Jackson. I love you guys. Thank you for all your support. Share the message, please. Don't be discouraged, okay? But be willing to stand up and do something about it. All I'm asking is that you focus your time and your energy where it's important. You guys have a great day.